I have always been fascinated by the strong connection between music and dance, so I decided to interview some of the professors here in the Sam Houston State University Department of Dance, and was also able to interview one of my fellow classmates to see what their definition might be due to their connection with the dance art form.
Music is an auditory representation of our emotions and just our observations in life, and I think that is easily transitioned into movement because dance is also an expression of our emotions and our bodies and our observations, so which is why they work so well together.
So how I would define music, I guess the normal, or I guess the most general definition is that it's something that has a score and there's sound. It doesn't necessarily have to have a meter. It can have a meter. It can be polyrhythmic. When we think music, we know what music is, whether it's pop. I mean, there's different genres, of course. As far as dance, and it's important to dance, I think it is important to dance. Sometimes I think that you can have dance without music, and I think the absence of music when you're dancing can be just as effective. But I personally like to use music. Sometimes when I'm choreographing, the music actually can drive the inspiration, or sometimes I'll choreograph without the music and I'll find music that fits what I'm trying to say, and there are times when I don't use music. I guess it all really depends on the situation for me.
I feel it inside thrusts of thought and emotion that somehow have color and sound wound up in them, right? And to some extent, well, that thrust of motion and movement and sound and color, that all seems to be right at the heart of whatever we're doing artistically. Because in sound, you have time, right? So there's this overlay, this flow of time over which pitch, rhythm, harmony, all of those things can interact and create emotional landscapes out of sound, and they're nonverbal. They're completely nonverbal landscapes that are happening as a result of all of the different qualities of sound that are out there. I think that this whole process is embedded in us genetically. So there's embedded in the material substance of reality this kind of musical background that we didn't make. It's just there, but we can appreciate it. We start associating emotions, physical states with those sounds as they come about. So as a dancer, I really feel that the activity of the musician and the activity of the dancer are almost one and the same thing. For the dancer, the product is visual. For the musician, the product is auditory. But in both cases, the inner person is engaged with that inner conversation or that inner attention to these flowing reflections between the external environment and our internal awareness. So the dancer moves according to those sensations and they somehow relate. The musician moves according to those sensations and their motions produce a pattern of sound, and ideally the sound and the motion are the same dance, I think.
It seems that music's presence in dance causes it to transcend its most basic form into something more artistic and expressive. Music and movement together make for a powerful performance.